Good day, everyone. My camera's a bit blurry. Welcome to Wysol's Wisdom. Today, I'm just going to be making pendants and talking about crystals, talking about the crystals that I'm going to be making pendants of, and talking about anything related to crystals, really. If you've got something you want to, if you're here live and you want to ask something, ask away. But if you're watching this at a future date, welcome. My name is Nathan Tadman, and I'm going to be making crystals and talking about crystals. Okay, so I've got a bunch of pendants I need to make. So I'll just be making those while I talk about stuff. And if you want to fire away questions related to crystals or anything else, go for it. So I'm going to be wire wrapping some quartz and tektites today. Just because that's what I have and what I'm going to be doing. And that's what stock I need to put out. So, yeah. The cats may run around during this stream. One of them's behind me. So let's do some quartz first. So quartz crystal is crystal of Lucifer. I don't know if you can see this very well. These are blades of light. Lemurian quartz blades of light. You're not going to be able to see the lines because the camera on this laptop isn't that good. But that is the quartz I'll be wire wrapping right now. So wire wrapping is actually kind of an easy thing if it's something you do want to get into. And depending on whether you like crystals, I would probably suggest doing it because it is a niche. If you are in the UK, I am going to be one of your competitors, obviously, but it is something that you can do. I'll wire up that one after. Hello, welcome, viewer who just left. But it is fairly easy. There's complicated ways to wire wrap. There's easy ways to wire wrap. I'm going to be doing very simple ways today because you can make an elaborate wire wrap of this type of quartz for this type of quartz, but you don't really need to. But I use copper wire, pure copper wire at the moment. I do use plated wire for some cheaper stuff. I don't really use plated wire for most of the stuff that I sell. But yeah, as I was saying, clear quartz is a quartz of Lucifer. It is the crystal of, you could say, enlightenment. Where's my little? There it is. So I just use a little stylus thing to make the hoop on my wire. And typically when I do wire wrapping, I actually have some background like ambience music. So I'm going to be playing the one that I normally play while I wire wrap. So bear with me a moment. Where is it? It's one on Satania's. It's just a very basic ritual. There you are. Black Dragon Kundalini meditation music. I just like this in general. Don't play too loud. I'm like, and no one's watching. I'm confused. But thank you for liking and leaving, I guess. The Crystal of Lucifer, Crystal of Enlightenment. It is a crystal that can be kind of programmed with a multitude of intentions. and it is an amplification crystal, so it does amplify the energy of other crystals. If I do go quiet a little, I do kind of need to focus sometimes when I'm doing this. So yeah, as I was saying, clear quartz amplifies all crystals around it. And can be used very potently to direct intention. It's very commonly used as a point of a wand, especially very clear quartz like this. This is Colombian singing quartz, so it is super clear. Now, I do find that different quartz found in different locations do have a very unique, you could say, energy signature. Different ones feel more energetically lighter than others, and obviously others feel a bit more potent than others. The most Herkimer diamond, you could say, is kind of, it's not really a quartz because it's stronger. Well, no, I'm thinking of phenakite for a second there. But Herkimer diamond is a rather potent quartz. It's technically a quartz. It's just called a Herkimer diamond because it looks like a diamond. That is probably the most potent quartz. Or if you wanted to go for a quartz that isn't a Herkimer diamond, Satlioka quartz would probably be your next best bet. Again, I do need to focus a little bit when I'm doing this. Now, even though I said quartz is associated with Lucifer, you can also use it, since its association with Lucifer, to connect to and focus on any angelic entity. Maximus. That's a cat, by the way. That's that one. And it's kind of a double pointed in a way. Oh, it glistens in the light. What are you doing? Sorry about the random noise. My door's open so the cats can come in and out, and I live with people. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Now, Lemurian quartz always have these. Well, everyone calls them Lemurian quartz, but majority of quartz, I find, even though when they're not considered a Lemurian quartz, have lines on it. Now, these lines are used to program intentions. They can also be pre-coded with information, which is a previous intention. That's why they call them Lemurian lines, and some have record keeper lines. They're essentially pre-coded with information from a past time. And you do, once you start working with particular quartz crystals with these lines and record keeper triangles, there is a very strange wave of information that does come to you from working with them, which is rather intriguing. So this little dude popped out while I was getting these out of the box. This is a smoky version from Brazil. Again, the camera is not that good. Smoky quartz. There's not much written per se on deity connection with smoky quartz, but I like to call it Belial's crystal or Belial's crystal. Being the darker, you could say the darker face of Lucifer, like Lucifer being God, but Belial being the devil. Smoky quartz being Belial's crystal and quartz being Lucifer's crystal. Very good for grounding energies, but good for absorbing negative energy, but also good at connecting, using it to connect to negative energy if you want to. Anything related to negative energy, smoky quartz is a good crystal. To amplify it, to absorb it, all sorts. A good one for absorbing negative energy and storing it would be obsidian. Hello, Ayla. I think you've joined. My participants and things are weird, so I don't know. Bloodstone is Belial. Yes, Bloodstone is very, very connected to Belial. It's like the body and Dragonstone. I don't have it. No, that's not my Dragonstone. I'm wearing, that's a Preselli Bluestone one. I swear I had a Dragonstone. Oh, it broke. It was, yeah, it had Bloodstone. I'm pretty sure it was Bloodstone, and it had like a dragon little thingy, metal dragon thingies on it, and an amber in the middle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that broke. But yeah, Bloodstone, Dragonstone. There's other stones that are heavy connected to Belial, and that's due to Belial. You could say Belial being the body of the earth, Lord of Earth, which is why Belial is also Adonai. Adonai in the LBRP. When you're calling Adonai, you're calling Belial. When you say Adonai, Adonai that represents Lord of the Earth. That is also Belial. So, yeah, the LBRP isn't a bad thing. It's not really a. Yeah, once you understand what like Yod He Vav He means, Adonai means, you realize, wait a sec, this isn't really a right-hand path monotheistic ritual. It's more a self-serving ritual that's focused on the earth, focusing on your existence in the earth. But yeah, as I was saying, if you weren't here earlier, I do get a bit quiet when I wire up because I need to focus. It's actually wire wrapping is actually a rather physical. Trust me, it's actually a very physical thing to do because, especially when you use thick wire. Well, you can use pliers, but doing stuff like this with pliers is quite awkward. Do you know of Octorus Ra? No, I don't actually. Is he on Etsy? I will check him out. I always like other Etsy stores. I literally buy loads from other Etsy stores. Yeah, I would definitely check him out then. Like everything, everything I buy is probably from Etsy. Like this is from Etsy. This pendant's from Etsy. I have Hecate's one over there, but this one's Poseidon's pendant from Jeff Cullen's store. And then this is from Slab Creek something. You can't really see it well, but it's gold and emerald. You can't really see the emerald well. It's like 1.5 something grams of gold. The chain, the free chain is gold. So I can't remember how much altogether is gold, but yeah, he makes some really dope gold stuff. That looks a bit weird. Sometimes they turn out not how I want them, but you gotta make it work. Never like undo your wire wrapping because it gets messed up. The Arcturian Council, I think, his store is. I'll check that in a sec, actually. Yeah, my camera's not that good here. Can't really see the lines on this one. Kind of see them at the top there. Yeah, that is the smoky quartz. So clear quartz, Lucifer's crystal, smoky quartz, Belial's crystal. Hecate's crystal is one that I'm not going to wire up today. It's obsidian. Obsidian. I have another piece. Oh, I have more pieces of obsidian actually. These are obsidian arrowheads. Obsidian's used for scrying, used for absorbing energy, can actually be used for like a massage ball to absorb like negative energy inside you that's kind of like causing pain, stuff like that. Show you my orbs, obsidian spheres in a sec. This is one of them. I won't show you one because it's kind of wrapped up in silk, but that is a bit dusty. I haven't used this in a while. Obsidian sphere. You can use these literally like a massage ball, and like the focus on the intention of absorbing unwanted negative energy inside. Very good. Yeah, real obsidian is expensive. For example, you could actually use like something this as a black mirror. This wasn't that expensive because it's small. I think it was like 20 quid maybe. But you could still use this as a black mirror. Obviously the mirror, using a sphere has a distorted image already because it's a sphere. A flat mirror in itself is less distorted. I find black mirror a little bit harder to use than a scrying sphere, simply because a black obsidian sphere because a black obsidian sphere already has a distortion to it, so it's easier to see other distortions from those distortions. I don't know, for example, like what you're seeing isn't really like a flat reflection compared to this. It's not an obsidian black mirror, but for example, that is not flat reflection compared to the obsidian sphere. Black mirrors are interesting. For example, that one, the first time I used that one, whenever you use a black mirror, do a form of cleansing afterwards. A form of unwanted energy will come through if you don't realize it. Even if what you're doing is kind of successful, and you do, yeah, it can if you for example, if I left my mirror not facing backwards against the wall, yeah, anything can come. People can come through your black mirrors if you don't leave them covered. Like people that can go through, yeah, people. There's a lot of people that can do mirror hopping and can like spy on you through black mirrors. Do I have another one? Either place it like against the wall, or get like black silk, and, like drape it over, or something. It doesn't have to be black silk, but something, and drape it over. That's what that's in. That's the £60, 60 quid black sphere, a big black sphere, like 9 centimeters or something. Where do I put this? But yeah, just cover it up pretty much, and do a form of cleansing afterwards. First time I used Black Mirror, I didn't do a form of cleansing afterwards, and I had a very strange dream that night. Like, it's the first dream. I was in the process of quitting smoking weed at this time, but defeats the purpose because I never had a dream like that during this time either. So in this dream, I was like stabbed multiple times, and I woke up feeling like physically feeling stabbed. Like I like woke up because of it, and there was physical kind of pain, like I've been poked everywhere. Um, that has never happened before, and has never happened after. So I think that was because of using it and not clearing my area properly. Unexpected things coming through when I'm focusing. Like you could be focusing on like the center. Yeah, the mirror's big, and things can come through when you're not really intending for it to come through. Yeah, that's how you prevent it pretty much. You can, yeah, do protection rituals, place it backwards, cover it up. There is some like mirror magic you can do. I've not really read deep into it, so I can't really talk about it, but that's the thought that came. There is mirror magic. I don't know how to do it, so I can't talk about it. All right. Next one to wire wrap. So I'm just going to go through different crystals first, and then I'll probably just start wire wrapping some more quartz and stuff like that. Next one isn't even technically a crystal. It's black tektite. I'm curious but hesitant. Yeah, I was like that. I was like, oh, should I buy one? Should I not buy one? Even when you make mistakes, for example, it's still a lesson. Like, obviously, if it's significant mistake, then it can be very detrimental. But lessons always, if it don't kill you, it's going to make you stronger. Always think of it like that. Like, yo, that's literally it. Have you played Lord of the Rings online? But yeah, that is literally it. That is. Oh yeah. Yeah. There is cultists that have. Oh, my connection is unstable. I am on a laptop on Wi-Fi. There is obviously some occultists that have gone mad. Some occultists have gone mad, and who knows whether they were using like scrying spheres, stuff like that. There are some occultists that have gone bonkers. So it could be the cause of Black Mirror's scrying spheres, but it also could be the cause of improper physical preparation, mental preparation, working with egregores. Careful what you're doing, really. Prepare. But yeah, Palantir from Lord of the Rings. I was started to replay the Lord of the Rings MMO a little bit, and it does go into a bit more detail on the Palantir, and how it's used and what it was used for, and what they use it for, or what it could be used for. I said one to wrap actually. So I'm gonna wrap this one slightly different to how I did the other one, just to show that you can wrap stuff a bit differently. The Palantir was probably honestly based off Black Scrying spheres, because theoretically you can talk to other practitioners through your scrying sphere. To be honest, Lord of the Rings is heavily based off like occult knowledge. I remember someone speaking about how someone else used the Elven language from Lord of the Rings in witchcraft practices, and they got results. So is the Lord of the Rings based off another dimension of Earth, an existing dimension, or a different planet? Who knows? Interesting things to think about. Same with Star Wars. I mean, J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter is all based off real occult principles. This one's going to be awkward. But yeah, Lord of the Rings. I feel like Lord of the Rings is basically the Earth, like a million, 500,000 to like a million plus years ago. That's what I think Lord of the Rings is. Like, as strange as it sounds, I think a lot of fantasy things are like, what is the imagination? Where does the imagination come from? Like, you'll be able to think about that as well. All things kind of exist. Kind of, I feel Lord of the Rings is about us, just like Star Wars. I'm listening to soundtrack from there now. They are healing. Yeah, they are. I forgot where I read it, but I'm pretty sure I read something that talking about George Lucas being like an insider or something like that. But it's funny how there's like Jedi, and then there's Project Jedi that I spoke about on like one of the second or first live stream, and that's all kind of to do with spirituality as well. So yeah, there's something with Star Wars and a lot of these modern fantasy genres. This one is being awkward. I don't like it when it's awkward. So yeah, I definitely read somewhere that George Lucas was like an insider. Um, I'm pretty sure he even started writing the Star Wars stuff. When pretty sure it was when there was like more alien sightings coming about as well, like UFO sightings. Um, Wait, let me check the date on it. I swear it's near Crowley. No, not at Crowley's time. What's his name? George. So yeah, it came about after there was multiple sighting. There was more increased sightings of the UFO phenomena. Um, Not Crowley's. What's his name? Kenneth Grant's time. What am I doing? Too many times. Yeah, it was around Kenneth Grant's time, and Kenneth Grant was one of the people that worked with Crowley. Kenneth Grant's books are very good. He's heavy into gematria. Literally writes so much about gematria and numbers correlation to different deities, um, phrases. Yeah, his books are good. His style was very deep. Story was a lot of the part of the original Star Wars stuff in it. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am mistaken, but I swear that was. Right, that's tiny enough. Kenneth Grant knew so much, but he still was sacrificed. I haven't read much of Kenneth Grant, like the end life of Kenneth Grant. I've literally gone through two books of his. I have more than two books of his, but I finished one. I'm halfway through Outside Circles of Time, I think it is. They're down here. Yeah, I'm halfway through. I think I've either finished Outside Circles of Time or gone halfway through it, and I'm halfway through another book. Can't remember which one it is. Can't remember if it's downstairs or one of these ones. I haven't read too much of Kenneth Grant, but yeah, his stuff is good. Yeah, the wrong directions thing. I'm thinking you're talking about what Universal Mastery talks about. I've asked some people about that, and they say it doesn't make sense because the cardinal directions are set at no, but yes. Oh yeah, yeah, but yeah, the cardinal directions, they are set east being air, south being fire, west being water, north being earth, because you need to, when you do a circle, you go in the direction of the element densities. So earth being denser than water, water being denser than fire, fire being denser than air. Even though there are some places that say fire is denser than air, and then some places that say air is denser than fire. I think air, in my opinion, would be denser than fire. You can't see air, you can see fire. So I would put air less dense than fire. But the reason you go in density is because you're circumambulating energy when you cast a circle. So you want to go from the lowest density, no, yeah, to the highest. No, the most Earth being the most dense. You want to go from the least dense element to the most dense element to circumambulate the energy. So I'm not really sure about the universal mastery thing. I mean, there is potentially something with the cardinal directions, but the way that other people that I find are very experienced and I trust explain it, it makes sense. And when you put universal mastery's cardinal directions in place, they don't make sense. At least in density, in the position of densities. I even drew it somewhere. I'll redraw it. But for example, I'm just gonna do letters. So what did he say it was? Crap, what did he said water was south. Water. I can't remember, but it when you connected them up, it drew an image like this. When you connected them up, it drew an image like that. But when they are in their dense positions, they connect like a diamond. You get it? So if water was south, earth north, I think it was air or something, fire, and they go in density, it doesn't create a circle or a complete formation, if you get what I mean. So I like his content, but that bit doesn't make sense. His explanation of the reverse Kabbalistic tree is fucking on point, but the cardinal directions don't really make sense to me. But yeah, as I was saying, black tektite. And as I was doing, making the black tektite pendant. Astrology opposites. That was my first thought as well, actually. I have actually the thing is with cardinal directions, I feel you can make different ones work for you because in the Norse tradition, you would want so it's the fires of Niflheim. I think Niflheim. But essentially is that the flames of the fireplace up top pour down into Helheim, which is the icy realm. So fire would be north, and water would be south. If you were taking the North tradition, so the cardinal directions are a bit of a weird one, because I've also tried some work using it was north air, which no one does, south earth, east was fire, west was water. The reason I did this was one, a guy called Foolish Fish, he did a video on it, but two, there's using your body as an origin point, there's a kind of energetic reason to do so. The earth is below you, which you could say is south, okay? The air is above you, which you could say is north. Your right side is your masculine hemisphere, which is fire, and your left side is your feminine hemisphere, which is water. So that is a way to work with that elemental directions, which barely anyone does, but it does work when you understand the intention behind it. So there always has to be an intention behind what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just useless, really. So when I was doing that work, it was working. I felt good doing it, but yeah, there's a lot of misinformation everywhere. got his information from Gridkeeper, and he's a scientist that knows why the directions are inverted somehow. If they are inverted, they are going to need to go in a form that the element being of elemental density. They are going to need to go in the form of the formation of elemental density. Otherwise, it doesn't create a circle. So yeah, they could be or maybe wrong, but they do need to go in density. So my one where I placed air north, fire east, and earth south wouldn't work because it doesn't go in density, but did work for what I was doing. So there's a weird one there. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much, to be honest with you. And yeah, it in a way we are always in universe B because we're always surrounded by the dark energy. Like universe B, it kind of predominantly overlaps this universe A in a way because there is more dark energy than energy, like matter energy. As I was saying, in relation to kind of since we've been talking about cardinal directions at LBRP, in relation to angels, tektites are caused by fallen angles of light or fallen angels. So when a meteor falls, this meteor is, in a way, part of an angle of light. It is an angle of light because when you look at it, there's light. So it is its own light source. It comes from an energy body that has split apart and is leaving its genetic imprint on places. It's combining its genetic imprint with other places. And they are basically what angels are. No, fallen angels. So fallen angels have had a physical manifestation of a celestial object falling and combining its, you could say, DNA or genetic imprint or energetic imprint with the Earth's energetic imprint. I need to tighten this. So tektites are very interesting because a lot of like light workers or love and lighters, I shouldn't really speak like that about it because even though they don't really understand what they're doing, I think some of them understand what they're doing because a lot of them work with energy like Lucifer and stuff like that, but then they would shun it at the same time. 1 second, let me just sort this out. Do you have Archangel Inferno, any patron deities? Yes. My patron deities would main three: Hecate, Lucifer, and Belial. They are the first three deities that I had a draw to / connection to. Hecate's first face that came to me was Tiamat. Tiamat, I was getting into and working the mystical dragon magic. I think it was mystical dragon magic, the 5 inner rings. I started doing that. I obtained a co-magician and guardian, still with me, still aiding me in finding information, guidance, people, books. That led to me having meditations of a multi-headed dragon with big orange eyes, black, orange, no, not orangey, fiery eyes. It was like this three-headed, like three heads in my vision, and then it just like formed into this kind of hydra. These three heads like multiplied into like 9 heads. And then I saw this massive eye with dragon eye. There was fiery orange, like just go in my vision. And then I had like the thought of Tiamat. So then I went to start researching Tiamat, and I was like seeing pictures of it's like a fictional Tiamat. I think it's like from Dungeons and Dragons or something. But it kind of stuck with me. I was like, Tiamat. The name sat with me, so I just started researching Tiamat. And then I just come across all the Akkadian Sumerian information on Tiamat. How she is like, in a way, similar to Belial. Like the story was that we are made. Tiamat was, her body was used to create the earth. I can't remember the story, so honestly, I'm not going to try to explain it. But yeah, her body was used to create the earth, and then this, I'm going to try to be quick on this. So this story will get a bit long. And then I found Mark Allen Smith's video on the Primal Craft, which then spoke about Hecate being akin to Belial. And then I started to look into Hecate, and then it was Hecate's 3 faces and these 3 dragon heads. And I was like, wait a sec, this guy's onto something. And then I bought his books and then haven't gone back since. So Tiamat, Belial. I think Tiamat, Hecate, Lucifer, and Belial all have a connection together. What was Tara from another density level? Tara, do you mean Tara? You mean Tara? You mean Tara? You mean Terra? Because I've read some stuff about Earth being called Terra. Like Earth being with the very, very, very early stages of Earth, it was known as Terra, Terra, and that was when reptilians lived here, and like they were the first humanoids. So if we understand like how biological evolution works, the organisms will start in the ocean, and those organisms come onto the Earth, and they were lizard-like, and then when you could say alien species came in, started manipulating the genes of the planet, they created reptilian humanoids. And those reptilian humanoids were the first humanoids of Earth. Ultra-cosmic information about that. Yes. There's some very connections with Belial and Tiamat, which then you can then correlate those connections with Hecate, Tiamat, because of Hecate Chthonia's connection with Belial, and Hecate being a multi-headed, being led by 2 dragons, also signifies Hecate's connection with Lucifer and Belial as well. I don't know who Ashiana Dean is. I may check that out. Is on YouTube. But yeah. Tektites. There are a multitude of tektites. Let's get some Moldavite and Libyan desert grass out. Hello, Maximus. Hello. Hello. Hello, mister. Moldavite. So, Libyan desert glass. Moldavite. I love Moldavite. I have so much Moldavite, it's unreal. I think I have like 30 grams of it that I need to sell. How do I know it's real? you can feel that it's real. If you can sense energy, you should be able to feel energy from your hand. There's also a good way of spotting fake moldavite because it will most likely look all the same. All of the pieces are going to look exactly the same. It's going to be very shiny. I've got a moldavite buying guide video on my YouTube that can basically, you can easily spot fake moldavite from a mile away. It's so easy to tell. You can feel it. So moldavite, you'll feel like big oscillations going through your hand if you're sensitive to feeling energy through your hand. I literally feel big waves of warp, 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 warp of energy going through my hand when I hold moldavite. Some people feel like kind of lightning energy going up their hand when they're new to it. I never felt that. I gave a pendant to a ayahuasca ceremony shaman. He put it on and he had like heart palpitations. So yeah, it affects everyone differently. But yeah, I'll show you some other pieces to show you what I mean by every moldavite will look different. So that's different. And they're all very, you'll find the moldavite, each of them are very unique. There is no two same pieces of moldavite. I unfortunately am not shipping to the outside UK yet. I am in like the next couple of days. Well, not couple of days, couple of weeks. Soon, very soon. I'm basically setting some stuff up to ship outside UK. I just need to get customs forms ready, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get my mum to go. Well, I'm gonna send some. I'm gonna edit the customs form so it's got two customs forms on one page because it's the way they give it to you here. There's like one on one A4 page, but you can edit it to flip it sideways and have two to print out on one page, so I'm not wasting paper. So I'm gonna do that quickly, send it to my mum so she can print it out at work, because she's got a printer that she can use there, and I don't have to drain printer ink. So I'll get her to do that, and then print those off, and then I can ship globally, which is sweet, and it's not that expensive, which I'm very surprised by. But yeah, all different pieces. My personal moldavite is, I'm wearing it. I was looking for it. This one. That one there. That one's 0.2 grams, which surprisingly, I got it when it was cheaper than they are now. So I actually got all my moldavite stock before the price increase. I was told about the price increase by another moldavite seller that I bought this from, and he was like, he had some wholesale stuff. I was like, and he was like, look, moldavite's, I've been told by someone moldavite's going to go through the roof soon. So you were lucky to get it at this price. And then, yeah, believe it or not, moldavite went through the roof like 2 months later. It like tripled in price 2 months later. So, for example, I got that for £60, 9.2 grams for 60 quid, real. And now that's like 400 quid. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm not selling this one because it's mine. It's literally it kind of chose me in a way. And the story with this one was I actually tried to buy a different one. For some reason, he sent that to another person. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He sent me completely wrong order. And I was like, "Dude, you sent me the wrong items." I think he sent me one correct item, and the one of the Moldavite was wrong. So I sent that back, and then he sent me this one. He sent me a picture of it. I was like, that's perfect. That's literally what I was kind of looking for, actually. So it was better than the one that I was going to buy, and it was kind of perfect for me. So the Moldavite picks you. The Moldavite will pick you. Things like that can happen. But yeah, you can buy one from me when I start shipping. You are in the US, right? You are in the US? I think you're in the US. Where are you? Are you in the US? Yeah, I'll be shipping to US, EU, and like Australia, Australia and New Zealand. Oh, Sweden. Oh, cool. I've been wanting to go Sweden. I've heard it's very nice. So it's actually closer, actually. I may do next year, actually. I've been thinking about going there and some other places in Europe next year. I know I'm going to Amsterdam, February. I do want to go Greece. I do want to go Sweden and the countries around Sweden. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, I want to go to Sweden because that area's very. I want to go like visit Norse areas, Iceland as well. But that's that area around Sweden. Yeah, Norway. I think Switzerland's nearby, if I'm not mistaken. I want to go to the mountains there. Oh, where's my water? No, it's not. Okay. All right. That was black tech type. What do we wrap next? Trying to. I know what we're going to wrap next. Yeah. Some Libyan desert glass. Switzerland is not. Oh. Okay, I'm a bit of an idiot then. I do want to go to Switzerland though. Which one? Yeah, I have a bunch of Libyan. I have so many. I have so much stores that I need to sell that I haven't sold. Oh. What are these? Oh, this is Shungite. I'm not really. Yeah, I wasn't gonna write. Well, I just bought those. And I didn't really do anything with them. Tanzanite. Yeah, I was going to do living in the desert glass. Ironite as well. Libyan desert glass is kind of awkward to wrap because it's very not. This one. I like that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I want to go Scandinavia, and then to the Swiss mountains. Swiss mountains are dope. All right. Actually, yeah, we'll finish this quickly. So living in desert glass is, you could call it the crystal of manifestation, even though it's not a crystal, but it is the stone of manifestation. It enables you to focus on business, anything to do with manifesting, quite literally, anything business related, anything to do with finances, money related. Libyan desert glass is the one. Unless you've got gold and you can use gold as that form of energy, then Libyan desert glass is also known as Libyan desert gold for that reason, because it's very potent as a manifestation tool. Now, while we're speaking on tectiles quickly, this particular combination, without the meteorite on top, is used for grounding. Well, firstly, this is here to keep you grounded, keep this energy grounded and focused on reality. But it's used for manifesting your heart's desires. So Moldavite is the heart stone, and it's used for manifesting your true heart's desires and grounding that into reality. And always this meteorite is there to add a layer of energetic protection. Campo del Cielo meteorite is essentially like wearing a little shield. Like when I first on, it felt like there was a shield. It wasn't like a bubble. It was like quite literally a shield. Like a shield was like started. It's a very strange way to put it. But yeah, that's how it felt when I first started wearing Campo del Cielo meteorite. This is one. It's going to be very awkward, isn't it? Yeah, as I was saying, the problem with wire wrapping Libyan desert glass is very. It likes to slip around the wire. It's very awkward. Moldavite is like most Moldavite is very. It's got those loads of ridges. Libyan desert glass is typically quite smoother. There are still. It's gonna be awkward to do though. Do you only have your store, or do you also work with? I only have my store. I work part time, but that's just not. That's just a different job. I work at some smart men's clothes company, and I get cheap shirts, like very very smart shirts. It's called Charles Tirrett. It's my part time job. Quite known for like suits and stuff like that. All right, this one is weird. I don't like it. Sometimes the wire wraps don't go how you want them. I don't really like that, but I'll fix it. Also, the problem with making wire wrap pendants is when you snip stuff, the metal flies everywhere. Didn't turn out too bad, actually. I have been thinking about like hiring someone because I have so much to make, but like I could probably pay someone like £20 an hour to just wire up crystals for me. Like, because I can make so many within an hour. If I could get someone to just make pendants for me, woo! Someone's Libyan desert glass. Not really a fan of how it's wrapped, but I can always tighten it by bending some metal. A bit better. Yeah, working with your hands is fun. I've always been working with my hands, to be fair. Well, not always. But even when I was a kid, I used to like use like my dad's saw and like hammers and stuff and like make shit, like make tree houses. I didn't just do what I think I did I? Did I? No, I didn't. Cool. So sometimes when you're basically to tighten wire, you need to make these little right angle bends. Sometimes you do that too much, you snap the wire, and then you got to redo the whole bloody thing. Libyan desert glass found on Tutankhamun's breastplate. Very powerful stone of manifestation. Wear this on solar plexus, and we energize the solar plexus. I wear mine kind of, it's like just above, it's like at the gateway of the solar plexus to the heart. Oh, and then mine's at the heart as well. But I always wear mine underneath because typically when I'm like working and stuff, having that thing dangling around can get a bit annoying. It's really big. But then I also like the crystals on me. Sometimes I put these on me just because it feels nice as well having gold there. The energy of gold is very interesting. Deity connections to those crystals as well. So I've already spoken about quartz and smoke. Now, there's a DC connection with the Libyan desert glass, but the black tektite, you could probably, I wouldn't place a single deity onto it. One, because it's found in multiple locations. So that, sorry, I'm just readjusting my legs. That celestial body that split apart and fell on Earth into a particular location. Each different black tektite has different dated of years, so it's a different celestial body that has fallen. So in a way, it does contain a different energy than other black tektites because the meteorite that fell on Earth came from a different celestial body. That's how it is. It's like oranges don't taste the same as apples. That sort of thing. I don't like that. But tektites, black tektites, there's a close connection with black tektites and Sintanami, Saphadite, and Columbianite. And I have I have a bunch of Saphadite actually. If you can... Can we get this? You can't really see it for the light. Let me get a ring light down. You can't really see that very well. But yeah, Saphadite. I find the energy is very similar to black tektite, but it's less focused on like the negative forces, like negative. Yeah, there's a similarity in energy between black tektites and the brown. Drop one there. I hope I didn't. There's a similar, as I was saying, there's a similarity. Yeah, I did. There's a similarity between the black tektites and the brown translucent tektites. But then all the brown translucent tektites have a different energy as well. I haven't had Columbianite, and yes, I believe it is quite rare as compared to Saphadite and Agnumanitite. But yeah, there is similarity and a complete difference as well. So I think they all come from different celestial bodies because obviously all of them are dated at different times. Let me see if I've got my big Saphadite. No, my big Agni-Manatite. So yes, Agni-Manatite is the one. There's a lot of confusion on the internet regarding the Sintanami stone, and I'm going to try and find mine. I have too many crystals everywhere. There we are. The Sintanami stone. This one, the Sintanami is from Asia. So the Sintanami stone is from Asia. Sintanami is not Saphadite. Sintanami is called Sintanami because it's from the Kintami mountains, or around there. Saphadite is Saphadite and Columbianite is Columbianite. Sintanami is Sintanami from Kintami or Kintanami, however you pronounce it, mountains. But yeah, I always see a lot of Saphadite advertisers Sintanami stone when it's from the Kintami, again, I forget how you pronounce it, mountains. But that's that one. Sorry, looking at Kins. All right, just gonna make sure my window's open quickly because I'm gonna have smoke and I've got kids here and the door's open. Okay. But Saphadite is a lighter version of Sintanami, in my opinion, from what I feel. I don't know if it's because I got a decently sized piece, but Sintanami was in the early stages of using it akin to Moldavite. Saphadite is very small and like lightweight energy. Sintanami was more intense, and then Moldavite was much more intense than Sintanami. Libyan desert glass is very lighter. I find it's a light energy. It's very mandible and usable by many people. I find you can't really go wrong with it, even if you're new to crystals. Like you can't go wrong with getting Libyan desert glass. Quite frankly, to be fair, you couldn't go wrong with getting any crystal. Moldavite could switch your life upside down in ways that you don't want it to be switched upside down at this current point. But for you, Ayla, you've had Moldavite already, then yeah, you probably can use it. But Moldavite can switch it. Like for example, I got Moldavite and then I started my Etsy store a week later. or 2 weeks later. Like literally, like I had a near 180 in my life when I got Moldavite. I started a business that was successful and is continuing to be successful. And quite literally, I only have 5-star reviews. I have nothing less than a 5-star review. And yeah, it's gone very successful. I've not made loads of sales from it. I've not been proactive in this last year in a bit of it. I've kind of let a lot of my items sit there and hope they sold, and not added new stuff in. But yeah, that's what I'm doing a lot lately. So I am on TikTok as well, sharing just using it to advertise items. I'm also using my Instagram to advertise items, and that's all being shared onto my Facebook as well. So I'm sharing all those reels on all 3 social media platforms, which hopefully get people looking and then going on my Etsy store. But that's also a way of advertising if you're interested in making a business. And since we're on the topic of businesses and making businesses, let's talk about that. So I always think, it kind of counteracts what some people say of just starting a business, hoping it tries, and trying a new one, it's going to fail, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't, yeah, they kind of do. They own what you post. They technically own the video, but it's not like they own the item. So they don't own my item. They own, technically, yeah, own the video, own the content that you post. So I wouldn't try to create original content on there. I'm just using it to like make a little video of my item, say, get this at this link. Yeah, I'm not using it to watch TikTok and stuff. Not like that. I don't use any social media platforms for what most people use them for anymore. Literally, you're going to be using TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook to advertise stuff. And I use Facebook to communicate with like family and some occultists. I use Instagram to communicate with some friends and some occultists. And I've literally just made a TikTok account about 2 days ago. So yeah, and I've got like nearly 1,000 views on some of the TikTok stuff. So it's pretty decent to use as a advertising platform. And I got that information from actually Occult Cat recommended it, and I did join Andrew Tate's Hustlers University. So I can say that it's not a scam. There is decent information in it. Do I agree with with everything he says? No, not at all. But that is a platform to make money in. Quite literally, it is just filled with money making methods. How to make money doing this, loads of stuff. If you want to learn how to make a business and run a business, I recommend it. Would I recommend the Real World at 149? That is hard to say. Unless they release new stuff, I don't know. It's called Hustlers University. So don't know if you've heard of Andrew Tate. Most people have. But yeah, he has this thing called the Real World / Hustlers University, where they basically teach how to make money. Literally, you can't talk if you talk about anything unrelated of making money in there, you get kicked. Like you can't talk about politics, spirituality, nothing, unless it's talking about making money, how to make money doing this. Yeah, yeah, that dude. I do agree with some of the stuff. I don't agree with some of the stuff. But the fact that he is trying to get people awake and out of the matrix is a good thing. So ignore all the crap that comes out of people's mouths. I say shit that I don't mean, that I might regret saying sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really agree with what he says. But he knows how to make money, and people that are in that course know. It's literally filled with millionaires, and you can talk to millionaires about how to be a millionaire. Yeah, everyone's always going to have this like small disagreements with everyone. Like there's probably some things that we won't agree on, Um, yeah, there's always going to be because it's like it's a biological thing. For example, let's take being vegan or eating plant based, for example. Some people quite literally can't. I eat plant based, but I'm not a vegan, which is very confusing for people because confusing for my family. But yeah, I technically eat plant based foods, so I don't eat any animal products, but I also simultaneously use a handful of animal products. And I'm thinking of like getting motorbike boots, for example. I don't have proper motorbike boots, and I need motorbike boots, and 95% of them are leather. Any decent ones that fit my feet are leather. Primal Craft books are all bound in leather. I have another Hecate book bound in leather. I have kind of dedicated and understand that I am participating in that animal sacrifice when I bought those books. So that was one thing I did prior to getting those books. Those were the Primal Craft. What was what got me from not being vegan, kinda like that was the first thing that broke my veganism. There wasn't an animal product that I purchased. It was the Primal Craft books, and then I bought all of them. I was like, you know what? There's something here. I bought them all. Yeah, I kind of am not vegan since then. But yeah, I am vegan because I don't consume animal products. But yeah, I don't like being called vegan. It's a weird one. I'm weird. Yeah, he's not all bad. Like, yeah, the fact that he's trying to get people to wake up, it speaks volumes. Some people do theorize that it is a ploy in a way, because I do feel there is, not related to him, but there is spirituality, and this wake up movement is being manipulated in some way to cause a violent uprising, um, unnecessarily. This could all go much more smoother than it seems to be going. But he also does have a point that the uprising will happen when an army of men are there. Realistically, like men are there is the energetic understanding of a man that it's the masculine energy is that protector energy, the feminine energy is that nurturing energy. Um, and yeah, it's weird. Like when you hear him speak, you think he's an occultist as well, like legit. Like I've watched a lot of his podcasts. I even got his newsletters sometimes. Things that he types and things that he speaks, you're like, are you a witch? Like, are you into the occult, dude? And you're just not letting people know. Um, I get that feeling from him sometimes. I'm like, but also I feel like everyone technically is a witch and they just don't realize it. Like a lot of conscious people are very heavily manifesting their own reality, which is witchcraft. Um, so yeah, he is a witch because he is using his will to manifest his desires. That is the basis of magic. So yeah, he is a witch. Most people are witch. Most rich people are witches. They just don't realize it. Yeah, a lot of people are. Um, like there's even someone, I think Curtis Joseph. He spoke about how if you're like a very wealthy person and you're fully capable of manifesting your own reality and your own desires, you don't need to really get into the occult and like do rituals for those things. Like you can just go do them because you can go get it. It's all about go getting it really. Um, turns science into the subconscious mind. Indeed. So what do you mean? Do you mean by turning your subconscious mind into a very analytical mind in a way? But in reality, science is alchemy. I mean, that is where a lot of modern day science comes from. It is alchemy. Um, Astrology is not really a modern day science, but considered an old day science. But yeah, I get what you mean there. But let's talk crystals. So to feel, oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Even taking Tate as an example, if he's not an occultist or a witch, the way he's gone through life and the way he's thought about life is very occult. Is the way even his dad would speak. I forgot what the saying is, but it's like being able to perceive your reality at all times, being aware of all things. Yeah, very very hidden knowledge within what he talks about, and you even find it with a lot of the mentors in Hustlers University. Arno as well. He speaks in a similar manner. A lot of them do. A lot of them understand that your will is what is going to manifest your reality, and you need to take action to getting it. Like a lot of Tate's message is very left-hand path Luciferian occult. It is very, you need to create your reality. Take the fact that he thinks he owns women, for example. Take away that. His premises is you create your reality through your thoughts, through your mind, through your actions. Um, let's ignore what people think. Let's ignore the messenger. Take the message. But yeah, as I was saying, how to feel crystals more effectively. So I'm going to put this down. And since you're the only one here, we can do this together. So, opening up the hand chakra a bit more. 3 ways. I have a video on this, but we can do it now. So, 3 ways of activating your hand chakras and getting your hand chakras engaged, enabling you to feel a bit more. So, if you have a crystal around, get it ready. Or you can kind of use any item actually. You can even use food for this. Once I started doing this a bit more, it was a weird occasion. I had like a handful of blueberries in my left hand, and I started to feel like the energy of the blueberries, like rushing through my body. It was very strange, but very, very invigorating. Those blueberries like felt very invigorating, and that's obviously the energy of the blueberries. So yeah, 3 ways of activating and opening up the hand chakra. So the first one is simply this: sliding your hands upside down, so up and down. So up and down, like so, creating friction in your hands. So getting them warm, like so. And then the third one will be clapping. So this is going to get a bit loud. So I'm going to remove it away from the mic. So clapping your hands together as hard as you can. What time is it? It's not too late, is it? So. Like so. And next one, get your fingertips together to open up the fingertip chakras. Rub those together. Again, creating friction there. You've got to do this one for a bit longer because it's small contact area. So we should have actually held the crystal beforehand to see the difference, but a bit too late now. Selenite, yeah. Where's my selenite? I've got some selenite here. Now put that crystal in your hand. You can close your eyes if you want to, but you'll notice you can feel it a lot easier. And now using that, also this method, you can start to feel your geomagnetic aura. So let's quickly rub our hands together again. Get your hands warm. And you're going to bring your hands out about shoulder width. And you're going to bring them close until you can feel a kind of bounce. And then from here, you can start to manipulate and mold energy if you want to. Expand it out. So once your auras come in contact, you can start to create from there. You can also start to feel the repulsion. Like so. But yeah, that is feeling energy. That's opening up the hand chakras a bit more. You can do this every day to... It can be counterproductive because you can obviously start to feel energy of everything you touch. Like what type of person touched that object. You can start to do shit like Star Wars, that's in Star Wars, like, what is it? Like, you can, there's energy imprints left off things. You can start to tap into those once you open up your hand. Dangerous, obviously, because you don't want to, you touch random time unconsciously without knowing it, opening up a door. 100 people may have opened up that door. Grabbing an item in the store, 10 people could have picked up that item and put it down again. So yeah, you can pick up residual energy off low things. There's always a good reason why you should daily cleanses. So bathing in salt and oils would be your daily cleanse. Doing that pre-ritual and stuff. You can always, let's take you're doing it for a ritual, your pre-ritual cleansing bath or connection bath. If let's take your incense that you're using for that ritual, use that same incense. If it's not hazardous to your skin, put it in your bath, soak in that energy, and then use that same incense in the ritual. It enables you to get a greater connection to a spiritual force that you're trying to connect with. Pre-ritual bathing, in my opinion, is something that's not very spoke about as much as well, and it's very important because you don't want to go into ritual with attachments, like things that could affect you, the ritual, like parasites, dead spirits, things like that. Like you could have walked through or near a graveyard that wasn't bound by iron, for example, and you have a spirit that's attached to you, and for some reason you now want to go eat donuts, and you ain't got a clue why. Because something's wanting you to eat donuts. It's not you. You just got a random crave for donuts. I don't know. It could be something random. You could have got an itch. You could have itches. There's all sorts. It could be signs of like something that's attached. That shouldn't be there. Oh god. But I might call it in a little bit. I need to eat. I forgot to eat. I'm hungry. You have any questions about crystals? Any crystal as well. I've worked with quite a lot of crystals that I haven't mentioned today. Like literally, I'm surrounded by crystals. Can you see there? There is selenite in each corner of this room. There is quartz, each cardinal direction of the roof. There's crystals over there, here. I did have crystals under my bed at one point. But yeah, I'm surrounded by crystals, so fire away crystal questions. Like what crystals work with for particular things, crystal uses. Oh, since we talked about magic circles before today, a very simple magic circle is a quartz crystal circle. Something that I've been using for a very long time. Any other crystals can be used in combination with crystal circles, or you don't even have to use a quartz crystal circle. You can use a black crystal circle, a tourmaline circle. You can use a stone circle. Circle of candles works as well. There's a lot of ways you can have and use a magic circle. Those with 32 crystals in a circle. What, with all of those types of crystals? You could do that. Yeah, honestly, you can have kind of as many, whatever number you want. You can even choose specific numbers for specific deities. Like, for example, if you had, like, let's say 66 quartz crystals, it's like a perfect circle for Lucifer. Correlates. Yeah, you could use that. Oh, yeah, about Fibonacci before, actually, weren't you? I definitely recommend reading more Kenneth Grant then. Kenneth Grant will explain every freaking number that correlates to. 8 crystals. I find 8 crystals to, well, what does number 8 mean? 8 for me is unity, a number of unity, infinity. Yeah, unity and infinity would be number 8 for me. I actually quite often use crystals in the circle, either 4 quartz and 4 tourmaline, or 8 quartz, or 8 tourmaline, and then I'll use 3 quartz in a triangle inside the circle, to focus on a more potent invocation, leading on to possession. It's like having the triangle of manifestation inside the circle, for example, but also being inside the circle, because you want it to manifest inside you. It's, possession rituals have a triangle inside the circle. You can have a triangle inside the circle, is what I mean. Very effective to do that, though. Very potent. Whoa. Put 3 quartz pointed to you inside black tourmaline circle. Black tourmaline is going to protect you from any unwanted negative energy, and the clear quartz is going to focus the intention of your energy into the triangle, which is the formation of the clear quartz. I have heard that rife frequencies are good for removing those sort of things. Just in YouTube, just type in rife frequency. You notice that you have like an implant or something when it's discomforting to listen to. Like you don't want to listen to it because it's discomforting you. You got to stick through it, and over time, that discomfort will dissipate. I haven't dealt with those personally, removing it, other people's, so I can't really talk about that and help with that. I have a theory on how you would go about doing it, but that's not something that I could, but I've never done it, so I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to risk fucking with people's energy centers. So, yeah, unfortunately not. What is wrong with this thing? A very potent, and obviously you need quite a decent amount of money for it. Circle of Moldavite. I did a meditation with, I think, 8 pieces of Moldavite in a circle. That got me in a high. I was basically, it felt like I was kind of like airy fairy. It was a weird meditation because it was like I was already in meditation while trying to get into a meditative state. It was the best way I can explain it. It was powerful, and it's something that I want to probably going to do again, but I can't because I've wire wrapped the mold of it. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many uses for crystals that I'll probably do a whole video series on it. But I've probably mentioned a lot of them on other crystal videos. So I do have a crystal playlist where I have a bunch of videos on different types of crystals and their uses for them. It's not just a crystal playlist, it's a crystals and mineral playlist. So I have spoken about copper, using copper as a vessel, and the monatomic gold and colloidal silver in those videos as well, I think, in those videos. And I've spoken about Campo del Cielo meteorite in those videos. Different shapes of crystals also have different uses. So, for example, is this a double terminated one? No, it's not. Gonna quickly get a double terminated one. This one is double terminated. So it's got 2 points on each end. These are known as like high amplification crystals. They shoot out energy both ways instead of just at one point. But you can't really see the double termination on this one. You kind of can point there. It's got a very strange point there. This one's look dope as well. I love Blaze of Light. They're literally the most clear quartz you can get. That's a double terminated one. So why wrapped 4? Probably just do that for the live stream. I might do another live stream of wire wrapping, and some other live streams on not wire wrapping. But I think that is it for the night. It's nearly 2 hours. Only been you, but don't mind that. And yeah, I may visit Sweden sometime next year. But I do plan to go around that area next year. Maybe late next year because February Amsterdam, and then probably summertime Greece, I think, or Turkey, because I want to visit some Hecate's temples. And then maybe I'll go to Scandinavia after, because there is a connection with Scandinavia. I've been talking, found out before, but then I've recently come into some more information on. I think you spoke about this on the last live stream, actually. The connection with Norse and Egyptian gods. Norse gods, I feel, are the gods of, what's it called? I forgot it now. There's Lemuria. What's the other one? Atlantis. What's the other one? No, I forgot it. The what's the other ones that Greece spoke of? Hyboria. That's the one. The Norse gods, I feel, are the Hyperborean gods. Or there's a connection to Hyperborea with the Norse tradition. So that is something. Hyperborea. So the Norse. So you mentioned before there was a connection with the Egyptian and the Norse gods, and then I think the Hyperboreans are the Norse gods. There's a relation with the Hyperboreans and the Norse gods, and then that's the connection with the Norse and Egyptian, because the Egyptians are Atlanteans. So the Egyptian and Sumerian, Akkadians, they were the Atlantean part of the Atlantean timeline, and had a connection with the Atlantean civilization. And that's the Norse connection with the Egyptian connection. It's an Egyptian connection because the Atlantean Egyptian connection correlates to the Atlantean Hyperborea connection. I know I said that a bit fast, but yeah, Hyperborea, Norse, Atlantean, Egypt, and the Hyperborea and the Atlantean civilizations were around at the same time period. Hyperborea fell, I believe, before Atlantis. Well, that's what people say. All the other traditions say Atlantis was the first, but you never know. But yeah, that's the recent connection I found out with that. But yeah, as I was saying, I do need to go because I am very hungry. Thank you for being here, Ayla. Thank you for chatting and asking questions as well. There's some interesting things you have spoken about as well. 32 crystals in a circle. Might have to try that. I'm not sure what 32 crystals I have. I may have 32 like kyanite or something. I definitely do have 32 kyanite. I have a big bag of kyanite. I have loads of blue kyanite. But yeah, no problem. But yeah, I'll probably be live during the week. I don't think it's going to be an everyday thing, because I'm currently having to use my sister's laptop. I can't use that every day. I can use it most days because she does have a work laptop, but not every day. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Peace out.